American half pound, 2 pure beef patties, lettuce, tomato.
6 a.m. on Jersey's own Rock Radio, 105.5 WDHA. I'm Terry Carr. Now, I'm sure I'm in the minority here, but I couldn't wait to get up this morning. Why? Well, because tonight's opening night for Bruce Springsteen and the E Street Band at the Continental Airlines Arena. Now, you've been living in a cave if you don't know about this. Bruce and company are moving into the arena for 15 sold-out shows in the next month. They have trucked in something like 5 tons of sand into the parking lot, set up a boardwalk with arcade games and food stands, and it's quickly becoming a wild scene at the Meadowlands.
In the summer of 1999, from July 15th to August 12th, Bruce Springsteen and a reunited E Street Band performed 15 sold-out concerts in New Jersey. The eyes of the rock world were focused on the Meadowlands for the start of the band's first tour of the United States in 11 years. It was another milestone in a very special year for Springsteen. Tracks, the long-awaited box set, was released, and Bruce was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Bruce was turning 50 in September, and he threw a month-long party for 300,000 of his closest friends.
I've seen him in England, and I've seen him all through the States.
I saw 4 shows in the UK, Birmingham, and 3 London shows.
I saw him in Barcelona, Manchester, and London. I saw him in Manchester, Birmingham, and Holland.
And I went to London twice. I begged my wife to let me go.
I've seen him in Spain, I've seen him in London, I've seen him all over up and down the East Coast. There's nothing like a New Jersey show. The electricity in the crowd is unbelievable. It's hard to describe.
I mean, why else would you come to Jersey? It's kind of always been a dream. You know, I've seen Bruce a few times, maybe 20, 25 times, but never in Jersey.
Talk about football stadiums, Notre Dame's the place to be. You talk about tennis, you go to see tennis in Wimbledon. You want to see Bruce, you go to New Jersey.
I had to come here to New Jersey and see him. This is why I made the trek 3,000 miles. I figure I got to do it once in my lifetime, and sure enough, this is it.
Woo! Bruce! The parking lot scene has been like one of the best parts of this for me because not many other venues let you tailgate, and it's summer and it's Jersey. You look at the people and you would not expect to be hearing, you know, that song coming out of that minivan.
I mean, it's like a party. It's a big time tailgate party, and we can't beat this. You know, go to a bunch of shows, you will never forget this experience, ever.
I'm not taking a vacation this year. When people say to me, you know, how are you spending your time off? I said, it's in the parking lot of East Rutherford, New Jersey. That's my vacation spot.
I mean, look around, you just see, you know, tens of thousands of people. There's a real connection between Springsteen and his fans, really evident when you come to New Jersey to see him play.
The first day I was driving across Route 3, and I was thinking, God, should I have done this? Is this excessive? He's coming out west in this year. Maybe you just should have come for 2 shows. And then I saw the banner, and I started crying. And I just like, how could I even have thought not to have come for these shows?
Yeah, it is special here. It's different. I mean, it's different from Europe. There isn't the kind of parking lot scene. People aren't in a hurry to get home. The atmosphere, the crowd, the song selection, that's going to be different.
It's kind of strange. I came in yesterday and I drove by the New Jersey Turnpike on the bus. I'm like, wow, this is the New Jersey Turnpike.
My name is Doug Corkhill. I'm a lawyer in Raleigh, North Carolina. I'm here in the parking lot at the Meadowlands in East Rutherford, New Jersey to see Bruce Springsteen. I'm 42 years old. Jersey, this is the promised land. I came up in 1984 when he played here at the Brendan Byrne Arena. I can't remember, 12 shows or 8 shows or something. I remember. I walked into a Ticketron outlet or Ticketmaster outlet in North Carolina and said, do you have any tickets? Do you have any information on Bruce Springsteen in New Jersey? And the woman flips through his notebook and she says, yeah, he's doing 10 shows. I said, cool, what are the dates? And she told me, and I wrote them down. I said, hey, neat, when do they go on sale? And she looks at it and she says, it's 10 o'clock this morning. I go, oh, shit. Like, what do I do now? You know, here I am, I'm, let's see, 84, I'm penniless. I'm graduated from law school, I don't have a job. I left the building, there's no line. I mean, I'm in North Carolina. I walked out the door, I pulled out my calendar, looked at it, and so of all the shows he was doing, one show was on a Saturday night. I said, I can't not. And I turned back in, I walked back inside, I bought 2 tickets to see Bruce in the Meadowlands in New Jersey on a Saturday night. And my best friend and I got in the car that morning at 6 o'clock in Raleigh, North Carolina, and drove to New Jersey. Went to see Bruce in the Meadowlands, spent the night here, and drove back on Sunday. That's what it's like to see Bruce in New Jersey. This morning I flew. Times changed. I'm staying in the Marriott.
Bruce's 4.5-hour concerts have become legendary. Bruce once said, "You gotta drain your band, drain your audience, so you leave something in its place."
Put this around your forehead, like you're bruised. Go ahead, do it.
Hi, I'm Scott Bajowski, 40 years old. I'm from the Highlands. First time I saw Springsteen was October 1976, Rutgers Gym. To this day, it is still the best concert I've ever seen in my life. I was floating on air for like 2 weeks after that. It was incredible.
Tell me about the circumstances of the show. Were you a college student at the time?
No, actually I was in high school, and a friend of mine got tickets, because all of a sudden, I was like really into Springsteen in high school, and I would go around to kids and say, "Hey, have you heard Bruce Springsteen?" And they say, "Oh man, what are you talking about? You mean Buffalo Springfield?" I go, no, it's this guy, Bruce Springsteen. And they say, come on. So we go to the concert, and he just blew me away. Incredible. So the album Born to Run had just come out in 1975, and Bruce had shaved his beard, so when he came on stage, it was like, which one's Bruce, you know? You couldn't really tell. And he opened up with Night, and it was so powerful, man. And he did the song The Promise on the guitar, on the piano, just him on the piano was incredible. And so I've been a Bruce fan, diehard Bruce fan since then.
My name's Courtney Hayden from Birmingham, Alabama, and I'll be hitting 49 this year. A little younger than Bruce. The word coming out of New York about Bruce Springsteen all the way down to Alabama was confusing, to say the least. You had this notion, you heard about the great shows, then you heard about songs he had written himself that sounded like Dylan knockoffs, and you thought, well, why do you want to be the next Dylan? What's this about? Then you came to the show and you saw that this was a guy who was more interested in putting over an old soul review than he was going off on Bob Dylan. And then you realize, well, he's picked up something from Southern music. A lot of what Bruce was getting over in the early days was derived directly from the old New Jersey soul reviews, which came up from the South, the great bands of Memphis and New Orleans, that the rock and soul reviews out of Atlanta and such like. So there's a connection, I think, for those of us in the South to the music of Bruce Springsteen. The big breakthrough in Birmingham would have been the '78 show, where he managed to get as many as 1,500 people. He doubled his crowd for the Municipal Auditorium. And this was truly a phenomenal show because by this time he had, I think, matured a bit into his stage persona. And my favorite bit of that show was when he jumped off the stage for a guitar solo and doing the old Buddy Guy routine where he had about a mile of chord on his guitar, danced all the way up to the top of the Ballot Auditorium and back again playing his solo. At that point realized this guy can hold an audience.
I mean, sometimes you couldn't even hear Bruce because of the fans, but that was great. That was great about it. I mean, you didn't need to hear Bruce because he was bringing the show to us and we were the show.
He's standing up on the piano and he is commanding you to be part of this. You're not just there to sit back on your butt and watch the show.
I've seen different concerts from everybody from James Brown to Prince to Metallica, and all the different types of music, nobody has as much energy in the building as he does.
I remember just thinking, I can't wait to go see this man. I just cannot wait.
First time I saw him, I was 15 years old, and I swear to God, every time I walk in that arena and see this guy, I feel like I'm 15 again. That's the best feeling. When you're 34, it's good to feel 15 every now and then.
And the night that I saw Springsteen at the Garden on the River Tour, it was a 4.5-hour show. It's just, when you're 14, 15 years old, your life changes. It was awesome.
In support of his Grammy-winning 1995 solo acoustic album, The Ghost of Tom Joad, Bruce went on tour with just his harmonica and an acoustic guitar.
I love all the stuff. The Tom Joad tour, people talked about, geez, I don't know, it's not with the band at all. During Tom Joad, it was like seeing him back in the early days in the coffee houses when he had a chance to really experience him with an intimate audience and him relating to that audience one-on-one.
The Joad tour was great. The Joad tour, to sit down and watch Bruce in a small room, and I had good enough seats that I could watch his hands. And to watch Bruce's hands play the guitar for a whole show, wow,
Many fans brought their children to the shows, expanding Bruce's music to a new audience. Young fans attending their first Springsteen concert this summer may be the last generation to see one of the greatest live performers in the history of rock and roll.
It's not just this, brief fanaticism. It's a lifetime of interest and devotion.
Been a Bruce fan since '75.
I've been a Springsteen fan since I was 14 years old.
I've been a Bruce fan since August 9th of 1978.
Bruce has meant so much to me since I was a little kid.
What's your favorite song?
Born to Run. My dad got me into Springsteen. He used to hold me when I was little, and that's how I fell asleep. He would blast the Springsteen in the living room, and I would put my head on his shoulder and fall asleep.
His first show. Loves the music though. Do you love you love Bruce?
Yeah.
What's your favorite song? You like them all, don't you?
What's your favorite song, Sam? Do you have a few? What are your favorite songs? Which ones do you like to listen to the best? Thunder what? Thunder Crack? Uh-huh. What's your favorite line from his Springsteen song?
Oh, I forgot. I can't remember.
Tell him. He's being shy. Anybody got two? You want to tell them what song I sang to you when you were 20 minutes old?
Which one? I know.
Tell him.
The road?
Uh-huh. Tell him. He's got a camera.
The road.
What I'm looking forward to as I grow older with Matt is what I did not only with myself, but with my cousins. I sat each one down and put a Born to Run album on and told them this is the history of rock and roll. Here's my wife, Monica. How you doing?
Sunglasses to protect the little one.
There you go.
There you go, buddy.
I mean, and as we all grew up, and as Bruce came around again to tour, every one of my cousins, as they called up and said, "Are you going?" I was like, "Yeah." Each one of them told me that. Do you remember the time, Pete, when you sat me down and you made me listen to the entire album? And from that day on, though, they were all fans. I wish they were all here with me, but we're all around the country. But it's great to be back. It's good to see Bruce touring. I look forward to the show tonight, and hopefully in about 5 years he'll tour again. I can take young Matthew with us.
But I've been a fan since I was 9 years old, 3rd grade, and I jumped on the Born in the USA bandwagon, but I never jumped off like everyone else did.
I had always been there. I was an original fan. Frankly, the hype of Born in the USA tour, when so many people got on the bandwagon, was somewhat of a turnoff, because I thought there were a lot of disingenuous people along. But I think he's fostered a bigger sense of community since then. At least that's what I sense on this tour. And it's kind of interesting. I don't know that there's many bandwagoneers as there was during Born in the USA. I think that people are coming now, and another generation is being turned on to Bruce, which is pretty neat.
When I was little, I used to bang my taiko drum to Born in the USA, but I guess it was about 5 or 6 years ago when a good friend of mine handed me a copy of Greatest Hits and said, spin this, and ever since then I've got everything. Drove up here listening to some of the 78 Agora shows.
In December of '95, I was buying tapes and CDs for Christmas presents, and I decided to buy something for myself. There was a big discount bin, and I found a copy of the Greatest Hits CD. The jewel box was cracked, and I got it for half price. So after the second listen, I was hooked, and I haven't listened to anybody else since. So I have almost 100 concert tapes, and here I am at my first concert.
Many fans have lived the life Bruce sings about. Fans develop an emotional bond with his music, a bond that they remember as the soundtrack to their lives. Most fans credit the lyric writing to this, but without the music, the words couldn't touch the soul the way that they do.
I was like 14 or 15, and his words meant so much to me. And it was funny because my brother, back then, in '84, when you're 14, 15, it was all AC/DC, Def Leppard. And my mom said, we used to get one tape for Christmas, and I said, I want Bruce Springsteen, Born in the USA. And, my brother gave me a bunch of shit because, it wasn't AC/DC Back in Black or something, and I said, well, screw you,
I got my license in '76,
and my brother had a GTO. He had a 70 GTO that was built for running. And we used to go down to Jersey, and we used to race the lights on the circuit, and we used to run up and down the highway, and they were building Route 18 at the time, and we used to run on it when it was after the construction was over. And we used to race, and race for money and fun and whatnot. And Bruce come out with Born to Run and racing in the streets and all that, and I felt like I was living that life at that time.
But it was the river that really sucked me in, and basically, it may sound funny, but that album literally saved my life. It was a point in my life where I was really down, and I started listening to the album over and over, and it gave me so much hope. Where so many of my friends were saying, "Oh, it's such depressing music," but I said it's the opposite.
My name's Aldo Wright. I'm 35 years old from Toronto, Canada, and I've been a Bruce fan since about '77. The relevance of Bruce's music to me is it's real personal. It's like I'm going through a divorce right now, and I got a kid, and these things are always messy. So you kind of lose a lot of faith in humanity and people and everything else, and you just don't want it. You want to isolate yourself, and you get pretty down. But Bruce's music always said, have a faith and stick with it and stuff. And Meadowlands just captures it every night for me when he says, "Blow away the dreams that tear you apart, and blow away the dreams that break your heart," and lets you get regrounded and like some of the emotions like jealousy and fear and anger, these are real, and he talks about it all the time. But he brings it right home, and that's like nobody else will do. I mean, so I found it like really spiritually uplifting to go back and listen to some of this stuff, and realize that it's okay to feel those things, but you got to move on, and then you got to like reason to believe. Every day is your reason to believe. You got your own kids or something like that, like me, and that's it. And then you let the hatred go and the anger go and the crying. I mean, Christ, I think I listened to Wages of Sin and Trouble in Paradise. I know they're new and all, but man, like thousands of times, and just like it brought me home again and let me, find myself, and again, faith in humanity and faith in people, and more than that, even faith in yourself. It's the meaning. It's the meaning. It always has been, and it's just so powerful. It can just grab you by the throat and just shake you and say it's all right to be alive again, and it's all right just to like break down the walls and be mad today, but go on tomorrow, and it works, and it's okay.
Hi, I'm Janet Norris, and I'm from Beverly, Massachusetts.
And I'm her husband, John Norris.
And we drove down here first thing this morning to come and see Bruce. I was just remembering the song we danced to at our wedding was "Little Girl, I Want to Marry You."
Right now, I wish, there was different songs I wish that we could have had played that have come out there since
I'm on fire.
Oh, or
that came out after we got married.
I was thinking, I'll wait for you if you wait for me.
Okay.
I would have.
First heard Lucky Town. The first time I heard it, I was like, what is he doing? And then I listened to it again, and then Human Touch. Beautiful Reward. Give me a break. I cried.
I think, obviously I could sit here and tell you all about the shows and how caught up you get in the emotion of the shows, but truly the lyrical writing of the man is what caught me. I'm a blue-collar kid from another shoreline area, Connecticut, on the other side of New York City, and I'm a little bit older. He's 49 right now, I'm 50, but he wrote about my life. I'm a Vietnam veteran. He always wrote about the experiences in songs like Born in the USA and Brothers Under the Bridge. There are so many things that he's written about in my life, whether it be the cars, whether it be the heartbreak, whether it be the emotions that we all experience as we go through our lives with the loves that we have and the relationships that end in good things or bad things. There's always been something that it seems that my life has echoed at the same time. So when he writes a lyric, I find that he's able to articulate many of the things that I and other fans aren't able to say ourselves.
I think Bruce's music is most significant when it touches on the despair in American life, the dark side of the American dream. And I still get teared up when he does The River, when he tells that story and brings those people to life. And you realize that that's not an isolated incident. That happened everywhere in America. He evinces the story perfectly. And I think, by the same token, Born in the USA is the most concise an eloquent summation of our adventures in Vietnam there could ever be. And in 176 odd words, he tells you the entire story of the Vietnam experience. No other songwriter, no other poet that I'm aware of has been able to do that.
When Bruce was 19, his parents moved to Northern California to find a better life. Bruce stayed behind and became part of a thriving Asbury Park music scene. The race riots of 1970 destroyed the city, but when the Stone Pony opened in 1974, people came back to hear local musicians influenced by R&B and 60s soul.
My name's Richie, and I'm 11 years old, and they used to have a lot of people down here. Used to come every day, swim and stuff. The boardwalk's falling down. They used to have rides down here, and that old carousel building used to be having like ponies and stuff in there.
What do you think of Asbury Park?
It sucks. Well, I went inside the palace. There's a lot of stuff in there. It's like old bottles, old Coke bottles. It's like the house is still up, the fun house, and like there's a lot of stuff in there. There's like symbols, Nazi symbols in there. There's like pictures of back from the days, how Asbury used to look. What I like about Asbury, Asbury's coming back. Like they have the skate ring up, they have convention hall opens, like they have basketball games in there sometimes.
Bruce hasn't forgotten Asbury Park. In March of 1999, Bruce and the E Street Band performed 2 open rehearsals at the convention center on the boardwalk. Only 1,800 tickets were sold for each night, with all of the proceeds going to local organizations.
I'm Stephen Jump, and I'm one of the partners that runs the Bruce Springsteen Fan Club of Europe, basically.
Fan club's called?
Badlands, and we've been going 15 years.
And tell me a little bit about this group that you put together on this tour.
Well, every time Bruce tours, we run trips to see him in England, where we're based, and in continental Europe. And once a tour, we usually come to the States. So this is the 3rd time we brought a trip to Asbury Park in the last decade. We came in 1992, came in 1995, and this is our biggest ever trip to see Bruce in this country. There are 3,000 subscribers to Badlands from all over the world. Well, Springsteen made a big impact in Europe as a personification of America, and he made this place, which is interesting to say the least, a cultural icon which takes a certain amount of genius.
We've got shells from the beach at Asbury Park.
It's a nice reminder of the day we came to see where Bruce grew up. And lots of people have got sand as well.
Well, yeah, it just brings all the songs that I've heard alive, you know, seeing all the places, Kingsley and Ocean and Flamingo Way, and just, as I say, it's a dream come true.
The palace is sort of like Elvis Presley. It got bigger after its death. I remember going here as a kid. It never really meant much, but now a lot of people got involved. They want to save Tilly. As you can see, the building is falling apart. It could collapse at any time.
It's tragic that a place like this in American music history turns out to be this when Springsteen's music should bring it fame and glory, and it looks like this. It's sad.
One thing that's interesting, he's never been advertised to play here. He had never been on the bills. Counted that he appeared on stage here 65 times. I'm Stan Goldstein. I'm from Neptune, New Jersey. Grew up here, lived here all my life, and that's why I love to show people around the area, because I saw a lot of the history happen myself. And we're here in Freehold now. We just took a walk and ran into people who knew Bruce and have met Bruce, and a guy who lived across the street, went to Bruce's old house, said, I used to hear him playing the guitar all day. It drove me crazy. I said he'd never make it. What's he doing that for? And look what I know. Things that I take for granted, Belmar, Asbury Park, that I see every day, how I see people buying film and shooting pictures and shooting video. It's kind of cool that it means something to them. Makes me proud to be from New Jersey.
All you hear in Canada is the Jersey jokes, you know what I mean? You know, the only good thing about Jersey is leaving and stuff like that. And
And when you're a Springsteen fan, you never feel that way. I came down to Atlantic City once and made sure I stopped in Asbury Park and all that, and that just looks like a war zone now. But to be a Springsteen fan for so long and to be at the Stone Pony and all that kind of stuff, you probably go into Jersey and see it through different eyes. Like you're driving down the highway and you hear him on his bootlegs talking about, driving down Route 9 through Tom's River and all that. And you're seeing the signs now. You're like, oh, maybe he was on this road. And then the songs come back to you that he did that have those landmarks.
He put New Jersey on the world map. He put Asbury Park on the map. He's a point of pride for a state that everybody makes fun of. He even put Freehold on the map. And I mean, I wouldn't put Freehold. I wouldn't have ever thought that anything good would come out of Freehold.
Jersey's been his inspiration for 25 years, and I think the other way around, New Jersey's lived off him for a long time. It's always got a bad rap, but it's something to be proud of. Opening night, there was news crews here from every state, and it was a good moment for New Jersey.
It's kind of cool, it's like our hero down there, Because, I mean, my God, who else do we really have? Bill Parcells and everybody comes down there to see her, but they don't live down there. Bruce grew up down there, It's nice.
The Asbury Park scene has something to hold on to. It has something to say, we produced something.
What's up, New York? All right, to all you Bruce fans out there.
This is our summer vacation. Some people took a trip to Hawaii, some go to Tahiti. We came to New Jersey.
I came out here from Honolulu, Hawaii to see Bruce because I grew up in Jersey and haven't had a chance to see him yet. So when I heard this tour was going on, I had to find a way to see him back in my home state.
I came in from Grand Rapids, Michigan for the last of the 15 shows.
I'm from Apex, North Carolina.
So we flew in from Milwaukee, Wisconsin on Tuesday night.
I flew in from Oregon.
I drove down from Montreal.
I'm from Sweden.
I am Max from Italy.
I come from France.
Hi, I'm Klaus. I just flew in from Denmark, Copenhagen, Denmark.
A record-breaking 300,000 tickets were sold for the 15-night New Jersey stand, but there seemed to be enough demand for 30 shows. With internet sales now part of the ticket-buying process, fans from all over the United States and the world converged on the Meadowlands to see Bruce in his backyard.
When you're at the show is when you see what it's all about. That's why when you look around here, and see the devotion and see 15 nights at one arena, you can't even buy a ticket out here tonight. The guys played 15 nights and you cannot find a ticket out in the parking lot because of the devotion.
Desperately trying to get tickets for his last show in New Jersey.
My boss did not want to give me off, but I had Springsteen tickets. So I gave him the option of keeping me on the staff or leaving. He chose to fire me.
Yeah, they don't really do this in Hawaii like this. I've been to shows out there at arenas like this, and it's just not the same. Nobody gets there early to a show. Nobody sleeps in the gutter for tickets.
Where's your seat tonight?
I don't have a seat. I drove 10 hours, and I'm just hoping by the good graces of someone here in Bruce's home state that they're going to sell me a ticket for whatever it costs.
It's amazing to me, all the people I've met here at these shows from Europe who came without tickets.
People from Austria, London, Minnesota, Cleveland, all over the place. Bruce Insanity, people have caught the fever.
They have tickets that are held for the band and the crew and their families. They have tickets that are held for the promoter. So all these tickets that are held, if they're not going to be used as complimentaries, they get kicked back into the system. There's not always a lot of them here for the last night. I'm number 8 in line. I've been here since the last show ended last night. In fact, I left a little bit early to get out here.
Okay, my name's Joe Governale. I'm from Dumont, New Jersey. I'm 45 years old.
And you're running the drop line. Could you just tell me the circumstances? You're on the line. How'd you come to run it?
I came up here on Wednesday night. I got here about 8:30, and I took it upon myself to start the drop line list. So we do a roll call. When I first got here, I did a roll call at 3 o'clock in the morning, which was mandatory for them to be here, and 6 o'clock, mandatory for them to be here for that one as well. And I ran one every hour after that, which they were allowed to miss one call. Okay, the second one, they were taken off the list, which I think was pretty fair with everybody that's involved here.
3,
Steven.
4,
Rick.
5,
Shane.
6,
Dale.
7,
Sean.
8,
Frank.
9,
Go Springsteen.
10.
But I joined the line after the show last night. Went back to the hotel for a shower and back here at 2:30 again this morning to catch the first roll call.
I got here at 12:30 this morning, and I'm number 53. We lost a lot of people by 3 a.m., so I'm down to around 30 or 31.
So, you know, there's been nights where there's been 100 people in line and they've all gotten tickets. So it's a great thing that Bruce does for the fans that know about it. And if you're a fan, you know about it, okay?
36, 37, 45, 46, 48.
I'm Neil Gray, I'm 35 from Chile. Here they're not announcing anything about these missing seats, and they drop them at any time. They dump them on us. They can dump them at 11:30 in the morning, they can dump them at 3:30 in the afternoon. So you're waiting here from 5 o'clock in the morning, and then you're just sitting there all day in this heat, waiting for them to drop the tickets.
Of the 15 drop line.
I've had tickets for none of them. I come up here with no tickets, and I've just waited on the drop line every time. Me and some friends, other friends that we've met here, and some friends from England, we're just queued up for tickets every day.
And you've been successful getting in every night?
Every night so far, touch wood. Yeah. You just have a ball all day. You're at the ticket dump, you're waiting for 10, 12, 14, sometimes 24 hours for tickets. You do a roll call every hour, and the rest of the time you mingle with all the Jersey fans, and they see you all right for beers, for hot dogs, and they're just great. They really are. And we see the rest of the Europeans. I mean, we just have one big party.
1,
Your name, give your first name.
2, 63, 64,
What's your name?
5,
Bitch.
6,
12 hours.
8,
Steve. Paul.
70,
Nancy.
155.
See ya.
John.
That's it. See ya.
56, 58.
Came in today to try and get tickets at the ticket drop. No early ticket drop. Here I am sweating my behind off, waiting for tickets. But hopefully we'll get in. I'm not leaving here without a ticket.
202, 203, 4, 5.
Drove from Canada, so close to Toronto. It was worth the drive, and hopefully we'll get in tonight.
13, 14, 15.
Richard Garfield.
$4 o'clock then, Joe? 4 o'clock.
Bruce's generosity to his fans extend to the farthest reaches of the arena. Fans with the worst seats in the venue might be visited before the show by an employee of Springsteen's road crew, offering tickets in the first 2 rows in exchange for their nosebleed seats. These employees have come to be known as the Man in Black.
Coming here is so important, yet it's almost like torture because we have these seats that are really far away from him. So I have my binoculars. I searched out a really good pair because it's almost like bittersweet to be here and yet not close enough to, you know.
Have you heard about the Man in Black?
Yes, we certainly have.
We're looking for the Man in Black.
We're thinking this is our lucky night.
My wife's going to be looking very pretty and waving around.
Trying anyway.
Man in Black.
My seats were the worst in the house. We're sitting there, me and Erica, we're eating a kielbasa dog. I said, man, Erica, if we could just be just a little bit more down there, just a little bit. And the next thing I know, I get a little tap on the shoulder. I looked over and this is a guy. He says, you know, I got front row seats for you. You give me yours. I said, I'm not giving you my seats. I said, you're crazy. He says, no, I'm serious. I got front row seats for you. He says, follow me. All right, let's follow him. We walked down. We're getting through all the security, everything, front and center. And I was like, here's my tickets, my old tickets.
I got a best friend that I met through AOL that I've traded tapes and stuff like that over the years with, and I've been staying with him all week, and we were upgraded Wednesday night to the front row. Nothing like it. This is heaven. This is heaven. I mean, I told Bobby, or my friend that was on the front row with me, that I've died and gone to Jersey.
We got a real kick out of the Birmingham show, his second show, because we got moved up to the second row. And Bruce, obviously, he's into kids, and he saw my kids, and He actually gave him his harmonica, you know, so they're fans for life, you know, it doesn't matter what happens now, they are fans for life.
Some of the members of the E Street Band had been playing with Springsteen since the late 60s. So Bruce was making a major redirection in his career when he decided to record the 1992 albums Human Touch and Lucky Town with different musicians. The world tour that followed tested the loyalty of his fans.
Yeah, I was pissed when Bruce fired the band. The E Street Band, I mean, Bruce Springsteen and the E Street Band, I mean, to me it's not just Bruce Springsteen, it's the band. I mean, it's Danny and Clarence and Gary and Max and Roy. I mean, it's the sound. I was disappointed when Steve left the band and he hired Nils. I mean, it took me a long time to accept Nils. I don't know, it's just the way I was, but I mean, when he went on tour and did the Human Touch and Lucky Town album, I didn't even buy a ticket. He came to North Carolina, I didn't buy a ticket to the show. I called the band the Imposters, and I wasn't going to go, and a week before the show I broke down, and I called the guy that I drove here to Jersey with. I said, Daniel, so we've got to go see Bruce. We have to go, and we did, and he knew a guy that, you know, we got some decent seats, and we went, and you know, it was Bruce, and I had another friend who was across the way in the upper deck, and you're in the middle of Born to Run. You know, I could be looking for her before the show and say, where is she? Where's Diana? Where's Diana? And during Born to Run, the house lights go up, and there she is in the upper deck, and we're going, Tramps like us, and we can see each other from across the venue. I'm like, yeah! I mean, it's magic. And for that moment, it didn't matter which band it was.
Yeah, the Lucky Town tour without the E Street Band, you know, I probably could have come to Jersey to see him. But it didn't really hold my interest. I wanted to see him in his home state with the E Street Band, and you know, it's the tour every Springsteen fan I've talked to loves everything he does, but everyone was waiting for him to come out with the E Street Band again.
All these years have gone by, and not seeing him with the E Street Band it's been like a drought. It's a drought of Springsteen, and now it's raining again, and it's great.
I had given up that he was going to get back together with him. I thought he had moved past that, and for me, for people my age who are fans of his music, this is like a dream come true. I mean, most of my friends have never seen him with like a full band, much less with the E Street Band, so it's incredible.
But this is this is incredible. I never thought I'd see the E Street Band again, and I think this is even better than it used to be.
The camaraderie on stage, you can't find that in a lot of other bands. You know, they're having a ball on stage, just as much fun as we are in the audience. It's great.
And I think that's where the E Street Band is crucial to your enjoyment of Bruce Springsteen, because these guys comprise the ultimate bar band. You could throw a song out from the Swingin' Medallions to Sam Cooke, and these guys could pick it up and give you the right key and give you an arrangement off the top of their heads.
The whole band is great. To see Nils and Steven, to see Patty and the involvement with Patty, to have Max back behind the drum kit. I got to tell you, I liked the shows in '92 and '93. You had good quality musicians with you, but this is family. And this means something to those of us that feel that we're part of your family.
This might be your only chance. I believe that as in all rock and roll, you got to catch it when it's playing. If you miss it, it's gone.
67 different songs were played in New Jersey. Bruce drew on his 25 years of songwriting to make each show unique, performing many songs that hadn't been played since the mid-'70s. With so many shows and so many songs, the hardcore fans were caught up in the setlist hysteria.
To have 15 nights here, I mean, what a gift to the fans, you know? It's just like saying thank you, and every night he has pulled out a couple just amazing old songs.
You know, the sets are changing every night. Every night you get 2 new songs that he hasn't played at all on the stand, and sometimes he hasn't played ever.
Like New York City Serenade, was that awesome or what? Oh my God, that was like bone chilling.
And he was able to cause the arms as they are right now. You can see I'm getting the goosebumps right now, because last night here, for the 14th date of the 15 run here, he did New York City Serenade, and that was the first song I ever saw him do.
And he's done that every night. Like tonight, I'm going to walk in, I don't know, I'm going to get a couple gems that I've never seen before. But I think it's great, man. He's playing more of the songs I used to want to hear. Less of the top 10 hits, more of the Springsteen from the 70s, you know. And it's gonna, you know what song I wish he'd play? Kitty's Back. Here she comes. Wouldn't that be a killer? Remember when you say that'd be a killer, man.
You know, played Frankie last night for the first time in, what, 24 years? I mean, that's phenomenal.
I started listening to him in 1974 when I was a sophomore in high school, when nobody knew anything about him. And it was Meeting Across the River, that song. I heard it on the radio and it just so spoke to me. Not that I could relate to the subject matter in particular, but I just loved it.
Do you know we played Meeting Across the River last Tuesday night?
Oh, no, sir.
I would die to see it.
I would too.
Of course, I got about 30 songs I'd die to see.
You know, I'd pay double if he'd play Rosalita. And I'd pay double for him to do Jungle Land, too.
This is Bruce's set list for Sunday. Last Sunday. Open with Backstreets. The mother of all shows.
I'm amazed that people analyze endlessly the components of a set list and feel that Bruce is not living up to his potential by not giving them the set they want every night. I think the message that Bruce was trying to get over was his very first song of the very first show, the one that everybody in America saw on VH1, where the song was "My Love Will Not Let You Down." And I think the deal was, Bruce was trying to let you know that his commitment to doing the music right was not going to disappoint anybody that came to New Jersey to see a show, or for that matter, any of the shows on the rest of the tour.
I am satisfied because I left Italy without a ticket, and I saw the sound check. I saw 3 shows, the one this evening. I get a Bruce autograph, so I am satisfied.
I'm satisfied too, because I also great concerts. I talked a little with Bruce, got a few autographs. I mean, it was just great.
You know me.
Yeah. So now he knows that I'm here wearing the Danish flag, and I will make sure that tonight he will see it. He will definitely see it tonight. I hope he did the first 2 nights too. Tonight he will see it.
Fame has never changed Springsteen. He has always been more likely to be seen at a local Jersey bar than at a trendy Manhattan nightclub. This approach to stardom has made Bruce accessible to the public, and everyone seems to know someone who has met Springsteen.
I didn't start playing guitar until I was about 20, because when I was 16, people started saying, hey, you know, you look just like Bruce. When I was 20, I'm 24 now, I began playing Bruce songs. That gave me an opportunity to start playing guitar. And I met Bruce about a year after that, when I could hardly play a chord. And it was outside the Stone Pony in October 1995. It's about 30 degrees out. Joe Grishecki was playing, and everyone knew Bruce was going to be there. The place was mobbed, Stone Pony in Asbury Park. And the tour bus, though, we got there. I picked up my buddy RJ. We got there about 10:30 at night. And the tour bus was out, maybe like 50 yards away. Bruce started walking out. And he had his foot in the stage entrance door, and I said, hey, Bruce, are you sure you're not my dad? And he said, you make a living knowing that?
Hey, Bruce! Hey, who's that? You make a living knowing that? I got it.
And I met Bruce Springsteen when I was 16 in Freehold, working as a counter girl in Jersey Freeze, which is a landmark in Freehold. It's a burger and shake joint. You either work there or you go there. But one summer when he came back to town, like he always does, he had his motorcycle guys up on the lawn, and I introduced myself to him then, and we talked for a bit, but then I had to get to work, and when he was getting ready to leave, I had to go clean the bathrooms to start my shift. It was part of my job, and I cleaned the women's bathroom, no problem. But when I went to go open the door in the men's room, somebody was in there, and it was Bruce Springsteen. And I just saw the backside, no pun intended, and then I shut the door and I ran.
If Bruce was watching this, what would you want to say to him?
If he was watching this, I'd say, Bruce, I swear to God, if I ever got a chance to go out with you, I wouldn't talk anything about music or anything, you know, that would really tick you off. I just like to hang out with you, have a couple cold pops, talk about chasing some girls around, you know, sports and stuff like that. That's really about it.
I love you, man. And it's been important.
You're getting a little choked up.
Yeah. I got choked up last night. I haven't slept a whole lot either, but yeah, it's very emotional.
Thanks. Your music is my best friend.
Thanks for giving us the power and the passion to keep it going. And, you know, that it's okay to screw up once in a while and come back again. And it's okay to cry, too.
The 1999 Rock and Roll Hall of Fame ceremony program had this to say about Springsteen. He did help save rock and roll by becoming one of its most distinctive voices. He did eliminate the distance between the singer and the song, the storyteller and the listener. He did become a performer nonpareil, making the concert experience something akin to a religious revival meeting.
The thing about Springsteen, what makes him a genius is it isn't just about New Jersey. It is something that is about all of America and can say something to people who aren't Americans.
Because of you, I start to learn English seriously, and eventually I came here. Now I'm living in New York City, so actually he changed my life.
His lyrics are my Bible. I live by them. He is my God. I idolize the guy. I shouldn't do, but I do.
And I said, I never want him to retire. I'll be standing there when I'm 80 with my cane, waving during the tour. And then she said, he would never like run around for you or do something like that for you. And my response was, yeah, Mom, but when I was growing up, he did a lot for me. He gave me those hopes and those dreams that I just never had. You know, if I didn't find him, I don't know where I would be. I think he shaped who I am today as a person.
I volunteer once a week at a food bank in my hometown, picking up food from restaurants for the urban ministry. Of course, I was inspired by him, and he's such a wonderful person in so many ways.
He is one of our defining artists, and when they look back on this era and they look at what popular art was in this era, they should look at Bruce to find out what was defining what America was thinking, feeling, and what we thought about ourselves.
Bruce's place in rock and roll history, oddly enough, I think has been determined by the fans, which I think is what this documentary is about. And I think the fans have determined that Bruce matters. I believe that Bruce Springsteen is living proof, if you will, that something happened in the world of rock and roll. I think that the music itself, rock and roll music, addresses issues of liberation and freedom and self-expression and individuality in a world gone homogenous on us. And for somebody to still care enough to get up in front of a crowd night after night to evince those qualities seems rather special.
I've made some new friends, met up with some old friends. It's just very magical summer of '99. It's been great.
Where did you get your ticket for the first night? Yeah, for me. Yeah, thank you, baby. The first night I had an extra ticket for the opening night, and I saw my friend here from Japan. He didn't have a ticket. I figured, man who's a big enough fan to come all the way from Japan deserves to get inside. So I just handed him my extra ticket.
Bruce Springsteen, Japanese pamphlet.
Oh, look at this, Bruce Springsteen.
Japanese pamphlets.
You hold it like
Bruce
this.
is very famous in Japan. Very, very famous.
He reminds us of our youth, the Jersey Shore. He brings back the youth in us, and what he actually, I mean, you're vibrant when you leave a concert. You're not 36, you're back to 21 years old, you're back to being single and just enjoying life. That's what Springsteen's all about.
Do you think you can't enjoy life if you're married?
Don't tell my wife that.
Here, you take my glass.
Hold it on the edge.
All right.
My name's John Joyce from Hudson, Massachusetts.
I'm Michael Joyce. I'm his twin brother.
And we've been to about 35 shows or so together.
Tonight will be 36.
That's absolutely correct.
But your heart stays cool. Now, how do you do that?
Great concert. All right!
From the start, a grip so hard I couldn't tear it apart. You're not still recording, are you?
Just, he's unbelievable. My dad passed away 5 years ago. I came home and listened to Born USA the whole night.
Nobody else loves Springsteen other than me.
Because I turned him on to it. That's it.
Absolutely. I mean, I live for Springsteen.
What do you think
Springsteen needs to be Jersey?
Please, forget about it. Forget
no
about
Bon Jovi.
Forget it.
No nothing without Springsteen. There's nothing going on in New Jersey.
I always pull out the Harley Davidson motto. If I have to explain, you wouldn't understand. That's, you know, that's all I can say about Bruce.
See, I've got a jacket that I made, and it says, go ahead, make fun of New Jersey. Everybody does. But in that case, you won't mind if I take your Bruce records.